Dave. Triple H taking over creative in WWE, which he has done now for 1 week. And as I reviewed last Sunday, SummerSlam outside of WrestleMania was the most enjoyable premium live event of the year. I still cannot get over all of the action that occurred, especially that last man standing main event between the head of the table and the Beast Brock Lesnar. Easily, in my opinion, the best last man standing match of all time. We also had a new stable occur in Bailey with Dakota Kai and Io Sky and the return of the Rated R superstar Edge. But we got our real first taste of what the Triple H creative era is going to be this past Monday on Raw. And it looks like Raw right now with Roman Reigns being the undisputed champion with no world champion on Monday Night Raw. Raw put a real great focus on the United States Championship with two incredible triple threat matches with AJ Styles, Mustafa Ali, uh, and Dolph Ziggler. And then, of course, you had Ciampa, or excuse me, it is Mustafa Ali and Miz. And then you had Ciampa, Dolph Ziggler, and Chad Gable in the second triple threat match. The winner of those two triple threat matches would move on later in the night. It was obviously AJ Styles and Ciampa. Ciampa beating AJ Styles. And now next Monday, live from Cleveland here, where I will be at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse for a Raw, it will be Ciampa taking on Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. And if Ciampa wins the United States Championship, I think it is once again a real sign that Triple H is in charge. Ciampa had no direction under Mr. McMahon. It's one of the reasons why Ciampa, for years, vocally advocated to keep him in NXT. When he finally got called up to the main roster, he's been working with Miz in this feud with Logan Paul and AJ Styles, but really has felt unimportant until Monday night when he put on a show in those two matches he wrestled. Of course, first the triple threat, and then the match with AJ Styles later in the night was phenomenal, pun intended, as every match with the phenomenal AJ Styles is just amazing. Then we had Bianca Belair going one-on-one with Io Sky as the new Raw Women's Championship challenger occurs. It looks like Rhea Ripley, who was initially scheduled to go one-on-one with Bianca Belair at Money in the Bank before getting injured, it looks like she is now going to be focused on the storyline with Edge and the Judgment Day. As I mentioned on last week, who knows if Edge and Beth Phoenix come back and they do a mixed tag match with Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley versus Edge and Beth Phoenix, and that could lead to the Rated R Superstar versus Demon Finn Balor, which I do think we'll get a little bit more of the Demon. I think we'll see Finn Balor's full personality on the main roster. When Kevin Owens gets back from his injury, I think we'll see a lot of Kevin Owens. We're already seeing Seth Rollins and Riddle go at it for a great match. It's going to be a Clash of the Castle. I think we're going to see a lot of these guys who recently were at NXT when Triple H was in full charge of the black and gold era at NXT get a chance to shine. And as I mentioned, with the world champion on SmackDown holding both belts, using Raw as the United States Championship as the world title to me works. We've already heard reports of Sasha Banks and Naomi potentially coming back to the company, which I think is a good sign. We've heard reports of promos being less scripted, which is another good sign. We're hearing terms like wrestler and professional wrestling are going to be allowed. We're hearing the Forbidden Door is going to be opened up under Triple H. So this is truly a new era of WWE. We saw the ratings for Monday Night Raw. The first hour got the most viewership since the pre-COVID era, which again is just adding to the intrigue of what the game Triple H will bring to this new era of WWE. Interestingly enough, we have not seen the big guy Amos on TV, which I'm a little bit concerned because, as you guys know, I'm a little bit more of a big wrestler fan. I like the big guys. I think Amos, though, could be potentially phased out of the Triple H era. I think in this new era, we're going to see more focused on storytelling. We saw Triple H go on the Impulsive podcast with Logan Paul this week, right before SummerSlam. And the game pretty much said that, hey, I want to bring back the storytelling to wrestling, and I want to do it in the ring, but with promos. We're already seeing a lot more action on Raw and SmackDown, which again I think is another good change. It's going to take time to build up these guys' characters. Like a Dakota Kai, like an Io Sky, like a Ciampa, that were big stays in NXT, but we know that the NXT audience is a lot different than the main roster WWE audience. So I think there's going to be a better transition, though, with Triple H power from what you see in NXT transitioning over to the main roster. I think these guys will be treated almost the same. They'll be treated like a big deal. It'll be interesting to see what happens when the WWE draft occurs, when Survivor Series occurs, if NXT is once again involved in those plans like they were in 2019. Now that they stripped NXT to the bare bones, I think they know they got to start down there in the current NXT Men's Champion Braun Breaker. I think we expect to see Mandy Rose at some point move back from NXT to the main roster. But there's been a lot of praise for Paul Levesque, aka Triple H, in his first week of creative. And I think we're just going to see a lot of different things. Commentary has already gotten better. Michael Cole was absolutely phenomenal on Saturday night at SummerSlam. It was one of the best calls I've heard him have. Just again, credit to everybody involved for everything, as a lot of change, as they've alluded to on TV over the past number of weeks, has occurred in wrestling, and I think it's a good change. Sometimes, you're running a business for so long, and sometimes you just need a fresh breath of air change. And I think that the game, Hunter Earth Helmsley, is going to make this change. And I don't think everything he's going to be doing is going to be good. I didn't think Raw in particular was amazing Monday night. But again, I think it is going to take time. I'm looking forward to watching SmackDown tonight at the time of this recording, which is on a Friday morning. Looking forward to seeing what the Blue Brand gives tonight. Looking forward to seeing if Pat McAfee can beat the hell out of Happy Corbin. Maybe they get Pat and Corbin one more match at Clash of the Castle. Looking to see the direction they take Reigns and McIntyre. Triple H in the past has been very open, saying that he believes Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns could be this generation's Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. He says it's a WrestleMania match every time they meet up, which means we're getting a WrestleMania match at Clash of the Castle, where there will be a phenomenal reception in the United Kingdom. I cannot wait to break that premium live event down with you on Labor Day after we watch it on September 3rd. I think it's going to be just a great show with the best fans. No disrespect to any fan base in the United States, but the best fans in the world, as we know, are always outside of the U.S. because of their passion for sports, because of their passion for live events, which they don't get a lot. Initially, I was going to do like a premium live event breakdown of these are going to be all the changes that occur in WWE. We're going to book to WrestleMania 39, but I think it's impossible to know right now the direction of Triple H because we don't know who's getting pushed. We don't know who's not getting pushed. We don't really know who's going to develop, who's not going to develop. We have an inkling that people like Raquel Rodriguez and, maybe a Shayna Baszler, just off the top of my head in the women's division. I already mentioned guys like Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, Ciampa. Potentially Johnny Gargano comes back with his wife, Candice LeRae. So I think it's going to be a different era WWE. I think there's a lot of folks happy. They love Triple H's creative vision. And who knows, maybe The Fiend will return as well.